Order now. I'm going. Order. Look, order. That will do. I want to call the next speaker, James Shaw.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's a real pleasure for me to stand up and to support this bill in the House, the Our Work, Our Future bill. I just would like to start by correcting a few of the statements that I've heard previously. When Mr. Hudson said that it was incorrect that the new Inland Revenue project was outsourcing work to the Philippines, the reason why we know that it is because officials from Inland Revenue told us that they were doing that at Select Committee. So it is actually incorrect to say that work on that project is not happening in the Philippines, and it would be much better if that work was happening here in New Zealand. The other thing that's incorrect is the idea that this would somehow violate our international treaties. If that were true, then the United Kingdom and Australia would both also be violating international treaties that we have with them, because both Australia and the United Kingdom actually have versions of this in place at the moment. So in Australia, particularly in Western Australia, the government there has actually used their vast purchasing power to create whole supply chains built around Aboriginal communities that were previously displaced from the economy in its entirety. So they actually deliberately went out and used government procurement to set up long-term supply chains and got Aboriginal communities to start to put together businesses that would then supply the government, right, of Western Australia. And that has led to a huge uptake. I hope you're listening, Mr. Hudson. It led to a huge uptake no, he's tweeting. Listening to a huge uptake in money going into those communities, in work, in skills, in livelihoods, in breaking the poverty cycle. So the government of Australia, or the state governments in Australia, have actually used their purchasing power in very much the way that this bill proposes to do. The other one is in the United Kingdom, which is, by the way, ruled by a Conservative government, where that Conservative government have introduced a similar program, and it is built around enabling exactly these kind of supply chain decisions to be made, to ensure that skills and training requirements get built into contracts, that the recruitment of non-employed people from within target communities, the provision of training that will increase the value that they add through their work, promoting local businesses, those are all part of decision-making in purchasing decisions of government departments and of local authorities in the United Kingdom. So, Mr. Hudson, please find those two countries somehow breaking the law in their international agreements. So one of the reasons why I'm so interested in this bill is because it is actually completely innocuous. It is simply importing an idea that's been well used in our major trading partners. Australia, with whom we still have the largest trading relationship, they're doing it. The United Kingdom, with whom we still have a very important trading relationship, they're doing it. There's no particular reason why we would not also be using the vast purchasing power of our government to support local communities, to bring people who are excluded into work, to ensure that New Zealand small businesses have a go. One of the other things that I wanted to raise in relation to what Mr. Hudson was saying was about access to international markets through the international treaties that we've signed, where our companies have access to, for example, massive supply deals in the United States or Australia or China or whoever. And of course, the thing that we fail to remember here is that the vast majority, 95% of...
I'm sorry to interrupt the honourable member. The time has come for me to leave the chair for the dinner break. This debate is interrupted, and I shall resume the chair